Uh-oh. First one did not fire. That's the first failure. Second one. That did fire, and it left quite a mark on it. Well, that's a bummer that one of them didn't fire. Hey everyone, Scott with Air Gunner Reviews. I know it's been a while. Unfortunately, I have prostate cancer, so it has been eating up a little bit more time than I like to. I am having radiation 5 days a week, and that has kind of dragged me down a little bit. Now I am still plugging away. I'm still working full time. One thing that I did do, which was the mindset that I had back when I was younger, is I did take out a cancer policy. It's a separate policy besides your health insurance. And I encourage people to do two things. Number one, get your PSA levels checked. Make sure you don't have a problem with the prostate. Mine was kind of a routine test, but unfortunately it had been 2.5 years prior. And in those 2.5 years, it has really shot, which I have no cancer in my family, but yet here we are. It's just environmental. That's out of the way. Let's get to the second thing, and this is this little Derringer that I have right on me right here. Now this is a Mercury Rise, although there's other companies that are picking it up. But is this a good self-defense weapon? Well, that is going to be determined right now. Now I have these two air cylinders in here. They take 4,000 psi each, and I also have the Humorex pepper ball rounds, which I know are very effective. So we are going to test the power on this. And when I first got this, I did shoot them off. I only shot 2 of them. I have 2, 4, 6, 8 of these air cylinders right now. They've been filled up for 3+ weeks. So we're going to see if they will still shoot off. Hopefully they will. Why would you carry this? And that is a good question. And number one is it depends on what you are wearing. Now I'm wearing all black, so it's good, or dark blue and black. So the dark clothes help hide things. But on my left-hand side is my BP-50. And I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can lower this camera just a little bit for here. All right, so, and the problem is that when you reach up, you can see the holster. So if you're wearing something a little bit too tight, you're not going to be able to hide this little monster. And two, if your waistline is short, so that can be an issue where this can easily conceal. As we know, winter's coming. You can leave this in your car. It's not going to care if it gets really cold. I know with my AEA Defenders, I've had those in sub-freezing weather and they still shot fine because it is just air, it's not CO2. So concealed carry is great. Leaving it in your car, it doesn't care about cold. That's the second feature on it. But again, reliability, power, all that good stuff, that will be determined. Besides a less lethal, I believe in wearing a pocket knife. I have been wearing a pocket knife forever. I actually wear 2 of them, and the reason why is just for what we have seen in the past day or two with Mark Sanchez. He was drinking, but he got very aggressive with the 69-year-old man. I mean, Mark is a 220-pound, 6'2" guy who obviously in football, he's rough and tough and he's lean. And for whatever reason, he attacked this guy. But your last line of defense, and that's what I want to talk about, would be a knife. And that is probably what saved his life, or at least saved from having a lot more bodily injury than he did. I'm a strong believer in having a pocket knife. I'm actually a strong believer in a firearm too. New York State is very tough on the rules and regulations. It almost doesn't pay because they've made it so tough to actually carry a firearm. Having a knife is so important. Now I have 2 knives, like I said, on me. This guy right here is my Vesti Raccoon. I love this. You can pull it out really quickly. That belt clip is very strong. You can pull it right out, and it's got the top lever lock on here, which I love. And it is legal in New York State. A lot of them aren't. And the reason why this one is legal is because it is gravity fed. So it is totally legal. But that is my number one in the self-defense. Matter of fact, that's the only reason why I carry this one. Now, I know you guys probably have your favorite, and they can be much bigger. New York State, again, 4 inches is the largest you can go. This happens to be a 3-inch, so it's well in it. But it is so well balanced. I highly recommend this. I'm going to leave a link to this. I'm going to leave a link to everything I'm discussing right now. Amazon's having the Prime Day sale. Just go check it out. But as far as flipping it out, flips out very quickly. The balance is there. And even if you can at least slice the person, they're coming up with their hand, slice the arm, make them regret trying to grab you. But not only that, but the transition from one direction from the other. I mean, you can do jabs, hooks, anything to stop that attack there, even switch hands. And I think in this case with Mark Sanchez, that person came in with the left. Reason why, because he had the stabs on the right, so it looks like he just did a couple of quick jabs as he was coming in. Love to see that tape to see exactly what happened. But line of defense right here. This is a great one. And I also keep a secondary on me on my right hand side. This flips open very nicely. What's nice about this is the Razor VX4, and I leave it, and it is razor sharp. And these blades get changed very easily. I don't know if you guys ever seen this, but you push on this little button right here. You push it, and these come off. These are all replaceable. It comes with like a pack of 4. This is a great little knife also. So the links will be below. The reason why I purchased this is because I love the system of these little air cartridges. Just for the reason that they don't care about the cold weather. And that is what, this is, I would hope, would be the wave of the less lethal. With something like this, imagine a revolver. These are filled up with 4,000 psi. That would be great if they could make a little revolver out of this. Unfortunately, the build quality of the double shot barrel is not very good. It's plastic. I worry about this hinge right here coming off. This actually is very good quality. But the barrel, just why? You have to ask yourself, why did they do plastic like this? You made the rest of it really nice. It really does look like a Derringer. It opens like a Derringer. Even the specs of it are very close to a Derringer. So why cheapen it? Make a barrel that's a barrel. God, this plastic, it drives me crazy. Anyhow, that's just my perspective of it. But I do love this system, and I've had so many. The AEA Harpoon has 2 of these big things, and I have this double barrel thing is super powerful. These things are huge. These do hold air really well. I'm going to be testing again. It's going to be coming up to a year, and I believe they're going to fire. I really do. I have shotgun shells in this. So that's home self-defense. This little guy right here, this is made by Houston. It is, and I've got other ones I'm going to be showing also. This fits in. It's a very good fit for the pistol right here. And also other things. So if you don't like this, it'll also fit this right here. This is the Walther. And it fits in really good. So if you want to conceal the pepper spray, Walther, that fits in there. Another thing it will fit in, for your knowledge, is the pepper blaster. Pepper blaster fits in pretty good, although none of these have a strap, which would be nice too, but it seems to hold pretty good. I don't think you really need a strap, to be honest with you. And what I just showed you, BP50. BP50, $120 on Amazon. Extra clip, I think it's like $30 on Amazon. Get it now while they're lasting. I mean, $120. That is really good, probably before the tariffs hit. And a couple of other things here that I wanted to talk about. Here's another cute little knife right here that is really cheap on Amazon. Another link on here. Opens up, and this is a scalpel. This thing is super sharp, and it opens up so easy. Another great tool. You have to have some type of a knife with you on these days. And one more. This is illegal in New York State. I'm going to have to give it to somebody else because it's a push, but that's also a nice little scalpel to keep on you. The great part about that is that you can hold it in your hand like this, and if you need it, boom, out it comes. So another great defensive weapon. Now, let's go out and let's test this guy for power. Here we go, 2.7 gram alien play. And let's see what kind of numbers we get out of it. This guy has to be cocked like that in order to shoot. Let's see what we get. And I actually got nothing. My fault. I'll have to replay that. But as you can see, what happens is that happens to move over after you shoot. So we'll have to retest, put another one in. But let's see what happens with this, just as it is. $208. All right, let me reload and let's try this again. Okay, reloaded. That was definitely user error. I just didn't hold the button down long enough. This time, hopefully, we'll be able to do it right. All the way back, we're cocked. Let's see what we have. $214. And again, same thing, moved up. Let's see if it makes a difference. $232. Must be just was more air in it. Now, so that's pretty good. I had 4 of them actually shoot off. That means that these are holding air 3 weeks so far. That's not too bad. These definitely look like they're better quality. All right, now let's step back and let's see if we can get some accuracy. Okay, so using a tape measure, I've got 12 feet away is where I'm standing. That's fairly reasonable for a little guy like this. Actually, maybe we should be a little closer, but for the sake of trying not to get hit with a bounce back, if it doesn't hit the target, which hopefully I will, but let's see what happens. 12 feet. Cocked. Oh boy, here we go. Wow, that went way, I think that, well, I'm not too sure. Did that even hit anything? Yeah, it did. It hit right here. That's what I thought I saw. Okay, so that went way over. That went way, way over. Let's see what the next one does. And again, as you can see, it kind of is moved over. But we're going to shoot it as is. See if we can get any more closer here. Whoa! Accuracy is not good. I'm not too sure what that hit. I'll have to do the instant replay, but it definitely came back at me. Good thing I was alert. All right, so accuracy not so hot. You have to be really kind of close to them. Make sure this is 12 feet. Yeah, make sure you're about 5 feet. It's going to be better and shoot directly at the torso. That's what I can tell you about that. All right. Okay, this time I have the training rounds, which are the powder markers, these blue and white ones, and we're shooting at that jacket. I am now 7 feet away. I'm going to shoot a little low just in case there's a bounce back. It doesn't explode. So hopefully we'll actually hit something with it. But we'll see. Here we go. I'm going to turn it a little bit sideways. I'm a little leery about this. Uh-oh. First one did not fire. That's the first failure. Second one. That did fire, and it left quite a mark on it. Well, that's a bummer that one of them didn't fire. So this is between a 5.5 and a 6.5 joule launcher. And these are very interesting. Now, the one that did not fire, and the 7 out of 8 fired, which I consider fairly good. I really would have loved if all 8 of them fired off. That would show good reliability. This one is the one that did not fire off. And you can tell the disc burst in here is bent, but it is nothing like these that look totally blown. This is an interesting system to open and close. You put this in here. There's 2 little grooves that sits in. And on this you have an open and a closed side. So I'm going to put the open side in here. And you push it right into it. And you just open it like that. There is your seal in here. Now they've done something a little bit different than the AEA. If you're familiar with the AEA, this has got something just a little different in here that I kind of like. I'm going to show you the disc burst. This is what a regular disc burst looks like that you put in here. So the idea is when you break the disc burst, when it pierces it, it creates a vacuum and opens up the seal on this side, and that's how the air comes out. This is a regular disc burst that's not damaged, and it goes in here. Now, if you look at this, you're going to see just a little ring around the inside of it, and it causes this type of ridging. Hopefully you can see that around it. So I think that helps seals the air in. At least I think that's in principle. So when you're ready, what you do is you put this back in here, and you put it back on its base like that, and then you just put this back in. A little oil on here, some type of silicone oil, so it was good. And then you put this back in here like that, and you tighten it back up with using this where it says close. So that's how that works. And you obviously you have to have an air compressor, a PCP air compressor, to pump those back up to 4,000 psi. I just wish I wish for a couple things. This was longer. It's just too short. You imagine if you had another 1.5 inches or so on here, you'd get that much more power, and possibly maybe just a little bit more oomph on these. 4,000 psi is pretty good, but it's a very small cylinder. There's definitely some room for improvement, but I think they're heading in the right direction. I'd really like to see more of these. Was it a waste of money? No, not really. Would I use it? Probably, most likely not, unless I really had to, as a secondary, possibly. But it just doesn't have enough oomph. But the chemical rounds in it would make it semi-effective if your placement was good, or of course if you shoot it to the head, you're definitely, if you can hit the head with it, it would have to be a pretty close range. And just the fact that you're holding it may also deter somebody, but again, you don't want to get shot by somebody who has a real firearm because you showed this. So there's a lot of pluses and minuses to these type of weapons. Anyhow, that's about it. I like the idea of it. I hope they come out with something a little bigger, a little better, get rid of the plastic barrel, something a little more substance, and then we might be talking about something of quality. That's what we're looking for here. Once again, guys, I really appreciate you watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Thank you so much.